Welcome to the show.
Forgive me. So, next, no Dapple. There's been developments
Yes,
to the
there
Dakota
have.
pipeline.
So, we've talked about this before, so I probably won't go through it, but quickly, there was a company that was trying to build a pipeline from like the North America and Dakota down south to where like oil refineries are, so that they can pump lots of oil down there and process it, and then we can put it in our cars.
Yeah.
But it went through a Indian reservation, Standing Rock tribe, under a water reservoir that supplies them. And it's also through a lot of their burial grounds as well. So there was a massive protest and they set up camps to oppose the construction of that final part. And that little part, because it belongs to the US government, it's kind of controlled by an organization called the US Army Corps of Engineers. And they had to approve this little section. They technically hadn't given approval for it, but the oil company was so confident that they were going to get it done that they built most of this $3.8 billion pipeline.
Jeez.
Wow.
Except for this section.
May have jumped the gun, guys.
Yeah, may have jumped the gun. This is, well, like normally, business as usual, this wouldn't happen and they would be right. And because of the timelines and like the amount of money they're talking about, as soon as that thing's on, like thousands and thousands of gallons of oil are going down every minute. So that's a lot of money. You want to get it turned on as quickly as possible.
Yeah, you do.
You've borrowed a lot of money to make it in the first place and you need to pay that back and it's interest and all that stuff. Anyway, so what's happened is this really underground protest movement is formed, started by Native Americans and supported by a lot of people from all over the world, and Shailene Woodley has been there going into winter now, but they've been there for like 3 months. No, longer than that. 6 months.
Ages.
8. Oh, no.
It's around 6.
I don't know.
Yeah. But they've been stopping the construction from going ahead, and the government's been really bad. So they've been allowing, I guess it's the governor, the state governor, who's been the worst because he controls the police, and they've been really quite brutal with the protesters, releasing dogs and like rubber bullets. They've it's like Sub-Zero now, and they were using a water cannon on the protesters, so it's giving them like hypothermia and stuff like that. They keep accusing the protesters of like being violent, but there's all this video evidence of like just unprovoked, just attacking them because they need to get them out of the way. There's also video of the police starting fires as a pretense for them using the water cannon to put the fires out, and then saying that the protesters started the fires, but then there's video of them starting the fires.
Classic.
Really
Are they
bad.
like huddled around a pile of sticks trying to start a fire?
I don't know. It's cold there. They're Sub-Zero. I don't know why. I don't know how they're doing it, but there was also a lot of support from around the country for them. Not from the media. Like, the media didn't really cover it, given the like it's a protest on US soil with a lot of police brutality. It seems to tick a lot of boxes that you'd think would get on CNN, but it hasn't really been in the news. Probably because they're all funded by oil companies.
And the Native American aspect adds an even more interesting thing to it, that you'd think more people would be interested in it. Which it seems like everyone is, it's just through social media, not the conventional media.
Yeah. From the top down, they're not as interested. But, yeah, from the bottom up, people actually seem to care. And also, in the last... also people have protested to their local sheriff department, because a lot of sheriffs were, like, sending deputies over to help try and clear out the protesters, but people had sent, like, messages to their local sheriffs to, like, say, hey, we don't support this. Don't send our deputies over there.
Do we have sheriffs in Australia?
No, it's an elected position.
Wow.
Yeah.
America's
It's weird. And
It's
they
just the
also,
country
you elect,
towns,
like,
right?
prosecutors and judges as well, so it's weird.
I thought you were going to say prostitute.
He had a mini heart attack.
Are there any prostitutes you want to elect?
I don't know.
Also, a really cool thing that happened recently was a whole bunch of army veterans decided to join in. So up to 2,000 volunteered to join. 1,000 went at a time because they didn't want to overwhelm the camp's resources. They only have so much food and stuff. But yeah, they just stood on the front lines, and they're like, because they're veterans, like, how bad does that look in that kind of country that basically worships veterans as heroes? To like have police attacking veterans would have been like, nah. So I guess I guess that helped a lot to have them turn up. And then recently the government decided they didn't have permission to go under that reservoir.
The Army Corps.
The Army Corps made the
engineers.
decision that they have to go through a full environmental impact statement, which is the normal procedure, but they bypassed it for this pipeline.
Mm.
Pretty sus. But they
Wow.
decided that they do have to go through the full procedure, which delays it by a massive amount of time. It might push back a lot of their contracts and stuff and could eventually make it financially unsustainable.
Which it has to already be close to that because every day they're not pumping, there's got to be like millions with lost, right, or something.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
when
it's
they
a
say
billions in the project, so I guess if they run over a year and it costs them an extra 300 million, they're probably like,
Ouch.
they'll wear it.
Mhm.
They'll make a lot of money when it's working. But hopefully it also pushes back other stuff because they'd have permission to do something for a certain amount of time, and maybe if it pushes it back far enough. Obviously, Donald Trump is pro the oil pipeline.
Yeah.
He actually owned shares in the company that was making the pipeline,
Ooh.
but he sold those shares. He's actually sold all his shares, so he doesn't have a conflict
I imagine
of
he
interest.
has to, yeah.
How convenient.
No, I don't think there's actually a rule that he has to, but he did it.
The president can't have shares in what he's making rules about, right? That's got to be
Apparently,
some sort
the
of
president can do anything he wants.
But what's the massive driving force for obviously these oil pipelines? So obviously there's a demand for the oil in certain spots, but is it purely profit, money, or is it like genuinely that is there any other way to get this oil to where it needs to be?
No, we discussed it last time. There's not really any viable other option that's also safe because you can have oil spills with trucks and trains as well.
Birds.
Yeah, what we talked about
Theoretically,
was,
a pipeline might even be safer than those options.
Mhm.
So
yeah, they're missing all the white towns is the suspicious thing.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
So it's like, okay, we can screw over the native land, but
yeah.
that's
So
that's why
it was a good
It's good.
victory for our people power.
Is everyone gonna go home?
That's a good question. Not sure. Probably
But
not.
people are worried about Trump.
Yeah, I read something. There, Trump's aides said
Mm.
that he will oppose it in January when he gets sworn in.
Yeah, I wonder if they're worried.
appeal.
It is winter and it's really cold, so they probably will. A lot of the people would go home. I wonder if they would leave some people to keep a presence there.
Are they worried they'll sneak in?
Well, no, they
As soon
can't.
as
They don't have permission to drill. So till someone overturns that, will like Trump, which is like the 20th of January, they actually can't. But it's like a question of maybe he'll give permission then, and if they've all left, they'll have like a big fence up, and you can't get back on, and they'll
Ooh,
actually
yeah.
stop them from getting like they'll have fenced off the area or something.
True.
So
Wow.
It doesn't seem like this company's really worried about rules.
Yeah.
no, they have been following the rules. Like that would actually be illegal. and
Didn't
then
they
they'd
not
have
do the proper research or whatever? Wasn't that you were saying before?
No, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers allowed an exemption for them to not do a full environmental
did it.
impact study.
But
Right.
it was legal.
They managed to get exemptions. So they actually did follow the rules. The rules were just bent for them.
The
Mm.
rules
Yeah.
are just stupid.
Yeah, that's pose another question. Sorry. So for things like this, so for example, if we face something like that, what is the normal or formal way to oppose these sort of gestures in the environment? Because I feel like the general public don't have much of a say. The only way we can oppose it is if we make a sign and walk on the streets.
Yeah, and that's a legitimate way of
Mm.
opposing something in a country like ours because we have the right to protest.
So
But
there isn't
there was a court case
Okay.
going through. The court case was actually founded on the tribe saying that land was actually ours in the first place. You
Mhm.
just didn't honor it in the first place. They had a treaty, and that land that the oil pipeline was going through should technically be part of that land that's on their reservation.
Yeah.
But it was never honored, so that they're trying to. But like court systems take time.
Yeah.
Obviously. So I think that's still being heard, that
Mhm.
case.
And then what happens to the oil company? The fact that they've bypassed going through all the processes of it being a green solution or something like that.
No, they'll have to go through the environmental impact study and all
Environmental,
that
that's
stuff and whatever the red tape is for that.
So-
So is there no penalty that the fact that they didn't do that initially?
No, because they didn't do anything wrong.
They are
They were fined.
paying for it.
Oh.
though. Very
They're paying
much.
for it because they built the rest of the pipeline, and that pipeline's sitting there not doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's a win.
Yeah, it is a win.
Yes.
For now.
Good win.
Hooray.
Yay!
Hopefully
people
forever.
power.
Yeah, this stuff, like, it doesn't seem to end well with this stuff usually, but it's obviously not ended, but it's a good sign.
Yeah.